Okay, so let's talk about anxiety for a little bit. We definitely ran into this one a lot when we were first getting started. We were looking for people crying in their bedroom because it was like we're looking for fear. We're looking for what is it that sets you off?
That's what we're tracking, fear.
That's it, like emotional state. What is it that you're like, oh my God, I can't manage this side of the board of reality, right? And so we kept hearing a bunch about anxiety, a lot of people going through depression and stuff like that. And then reoccurringly, we would hear anxiety, anxiety, anxiety. And we're like, oh, okay, so anxiety is something along the lines of I'm not prepared for what's coming next.
Right.
And so we would be watching, and again and again and again, it was like ESFP after ESFP after lead SC, a lot of times just lead SC, going through the struggles of anxiety. Not every time. Not every single time.
As well as a lot of people have different definitions of the word anxiety. So you got to like the anxiety to do with the control chaos issues, defined by people.
Right.
Define your terms.
Define your terms. It could be social anxiety. It could be, my friend doesn't like me anymore.
Certain types of anxiety, we're clustering around certain types of people.
So what we're looking for here is, are you gathering too much information, therefore in a deficit of what is coming next? So let's take a look at Charlemagne. Charlemagne struggles with anxiety, and he actually kind of pieced together what's going on for himself. So we'll be looking at the savior state versus the demon state. Let's take a look.
I'm like a hypochondriac. Like, I'm the type of person that if I see something happen to somebody, I think it's gonna happen to me. So the day he died and they just found him laid out in a hotel room and they didn't know exactly why he died yet, in my mind, he had a heart attack. So I just was thinking that all day long. I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm going to have a heart attack.
You a panic attack.
Yes.
Anxiety attack, yeah.
So I checked myself into the emergency room.
Wow.
The doctor checks my heart, the EKG and all of that, and he's like, yo, you're fine. You got an athlete's heart. He was like, do you have anxiety? It sounded like you had a panic attack. And I was like, no. And he was like, did you have any caffeine, an energy drink? I said, oh, I had a Red Bull earlier. So I blamed it on the Red Bull. Yeah. And I remember just driving down interstate in South Carolina, I-26, and just feeling like I was having another heart attack.
Wow.
And like I went to the hospital and same thing. You got an athlete's heart. Yo, do you have anxiety? No. Sound like you had a panic attack. Well, no, I don't think that's well. You stressed out about anything? I'm like, hell yeah. So once again, I could point to something else.
I got fired, I lost my job.
It's the buildup of all the stresses, but then not being able to process what the core causes are.
What is connecting all of those
things?
Yeah,
maybe it's this.
Yes,
maybe it's that. Maybe it was this. Maybe
yes.
this weird on the connections of the abstract causes.
Weird on connections. Like I saw these things and I'm freaking myself out with, they're disconnected. Like, not understanding the why below it.
Right. Which he later figures out, which is why he's telling the story.
Yes.
He eventually put it together.
He did.
But we're seeing people that have the N above the S. It's usually not, you know what I'm saying? It's not coming that much later.
Right.
People with N, they're like, oh, I see what's causing this.
The meaning below. And then what is he doing to try and solve it? I'm going to go to the hospital. I'm going to get some tests.
More sensory.
I'm going to go gather some more data to try and figure out the why.
Now I have more data, more sensory that I've gathered. Now I have more connections that I can't make.
It just makes it more confusing.
Right.
All right, let's take a look at the second one. He's going to talk about a pattern that his dad talked about, and does he get excited about it? Is it something that he's like, okay, cool, I love the patterns, I want to seek that pattern out? Or is it something that is scary to find out his own possible patterns?
Right.
So somewhere in my mind, my brain just got wired to think that the worst was going to happen. Like, this got to be all a dream. Like, life can't be this sweet. I've been doing them because I was scared. Like, I feel like my father would always tell me that if I don't change my lifestyle, I'm going to end up in jail, dead, or broke sitting under the tree. That scared me. Being in jail, being dead, or being broke under the tree gave me a type of anxiety that made me say, I got to do whatever it is I need to do to be successful. You know, I had all of these different experiences, man. And it's like when I started to go to jail and see people around me go to prison and see people around me actually get killed, like that scared me. Those three options scared me, gave me super anxiety, super panic attacks. I refused to be the people. I had older cousins that I thought was so cool, but they were broke sitting under the tree doing nothing with their life. I refused to be that guy. Like, I would have literal panic attacks, literal anxiety thinking about that. Yeah. So that made me, I'm gonna go get a job.
The savior SEs and NEs, they seem to think that there's not limited options.
I know.
Like the SIs and the NIs, they know that, like, hey, this only goes down a few different ways.
Oh, wow.
Like, look at the 1,000 people before you and 1,000 people after you. Like, this all ends up in the same few paths. You do know that, right?
Wow.
And the savior SEs and NGs, like, no, there's unlimited options. I'm special and unique, and my circumstance is different. It's different. It's not different. It's the same.
That's so true.
It's the same. It goes into the same few options, and you can look ahead and go, am I going to be dead in jail or broke under a tree?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's such a good point. Okay, great. So I have
Where is your anxiety right now? Your anxiety is on, yay, it's limited. Or is your anxiety going, wait a minute, it's limited?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, which one do I choose? Now it gets panicky.
That's what you want to track. You want to track where your fears are.
Yeah. So I'm like going through this and going, wow, this is an interesting pattern that all of these guys are going through. Like I'm watching as this, person on the outside, like it's not affecting me,
right.
And it's fascinating because I myself was going through so much anxiety because at the time it was just like every 7 days I would have my own like, aha, things aren't working.
Your own kind of panic attacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and not connecting, seeing where it's coming from.
Yeah, because I'm skipping and running in the moment,
yeah.
gathering new information, not organizing, not planning ahead, not systematizing and making anything more efficient so that I don't have to keep running through the chaos. So it was like fascinating for me to be just like watching somebody going through it and then I'm going through it, not piecing things together. Where's my conceptual understanding?
It was crazy to see from the outside.
Oh yeah, and I would come to these like aha moments every 7 days and I would like go to tell you and you were just like bored. Like you had this like wash over on your face of like everybody knows but you.
Yeah.
And then just 7 days later I would do it again because the new thing I learned was exciting. I didn't want it to be something that was boring and known and very simple, Yeah. Oh God.
The anxiety I had was from all the anxiety that you had. That's